Hi, I'm Dr. Sherry Barrett, and I'm in the Office of Assessment, Evaluation, and Institutional Outcomes. And today we're here to talk to you about program review, both for the administrative and academic sides of the house. Specifically, we're going to tell you a little bit about a new software that's been purchased by the college in support of program review, and that's called Strategic Planning Online. This introduction will give you some general answers to questions you might have, and then there's a demo that follows this on how to use the software. Let's start with the purpose of program review. Program review is an opportunity first to look backwards. What have you accomplished over the last 3 years? What are areas that you've been gathering data that you need to report on? It also gives you the opportunity to look forward for planning purposes. Over the next 1, 2, 3 years, what are those 2 to 3 to 5 long-term and short-term goals that you have for the office? What is the data that you need to be gathering in order to meet those metrics? So it's a great opportunity to also look at your budget and resources in the office that you may need to support these things and to request those resources, because program review does tie into the budgeting process. Access, the new software, and implementing it, we brought over those that were designated as either department chairs or directors over certain areas. If you are a budget manager, then you have access right now to program review. We didn't bring over every staff member or every faculty member yet. We need you to contact us here in the office so that we can give access. We are really emphasizing the idea of one editor for program review. If you do have a co-chair or someone that's integral in setting these goals or writing your program review and need a second editor, just contact the office and we can do that. Everyone else that you want to give to us to have access to the program will be read-only access. Let's talk a little bit about a change, which is in due dates. Previously, program review was due November 30th. I've had more than a few people in my office letting me know that I ruined Thanksgiving because of that November 30th due date. Well, the good news is you now have an additional month. So it's going to be due December 30th, which means I will be ruining your Christmas as you work on program review. Another nice thing about the software, sometimes people were confused. Were they supposed to be doing their comprehensive review or were they doing one of the annual reviews? In this new software, when you log in and pull up your particular area or your department, you'll see immediately, it'll say annual review or it'll say comprehensive review. And those templates are assigned every year, so no more questions about that. Let's talk about resources. The primary resources that you have that are really important are these workbooks. We have one for administrative review here in the green and one in white here for academic review. We spent a lot of time giving examples. We've also printed screenshots in here, very explicit 1, 2, 3 types of steps to get the process done. Let me encourage you to get your hands on one of these. Just call the office and we'll send them to you through the campus mail, or stop by anytime and we'll give you copies. Also, we have copies electronically of these in the actual strategic planning under the resources tab. So you'll want these resources. The biggest resource you have, though, is this office. We spent a lot of time preparing the software, exploring the software, setting up the templates, etc. And so we are more than happy to walk you through anything that you're having problems with, to help address any issues you're having. Just call the office. We don't want you to waste valuable time trying to figure something out that we've already done for you. So give us a call. That's it for this portion of the video. We're going to go into a demo here in a minute in Camtasia to show you how to navigate through the software itself. I think overall you'll find it pretty easy to use. It's much more user-friendly and has a strong interface. One of the things I will point out is it's much easier. One of the comments we previously heard is bringing over software from like Word or Google Docs into copy and pasting into Strategic Planning Online, and that works really well in this process. So again, thank you for participating. Give us a call if you have any questions. Thank you. Hello, we're going to go to the next part of this training video, and that is giving you a brief overview of JCCC's new Strategic Planning Online software in support of program review. So from the main JCC website, go to the login page and go to My JCCC. You're going to use your credentials and logging in for the single sign-on. This will automatically update for both this software and for Strategic Planning Online whenever you change that. And then when you get to this page, you'll notice down here this lovely JCC links box, and at the very bottom of that box is the program review. Just click on that, and since you've already used your single sign-on, it'll automatically go to the website for strategic planning. Now, I will tell you up front, you're seeing a couple extra areas that, because I'm an administrator for this process, you won't necessarily see. But you will see a planning and an assessment piece. And your different programs will be under those areas. You'll either be the program member, or you'll be the director or program area chair. We call them planning unit manager. So there's two main areas. The first is planning. This is where you're going to create those 3 to 5, 1 to 3 year planning goals for your unit, which will go through your dean or your next level up for approval. Here's an example of where you can create a new goal. The other area you're going to be using is the assessment. And this landing page, you're going to see both academic programs and you're going to see administrative areas, because this software supports both branches of the college. So if you're an academic program, choose this one. If you're an administrative area like the bursar's office or admissions, etc., use this area. The other really important function here, down here at the bottom, it says document repository. We thought it was really important in moving forward with this because our old software doesn't talk to our new software. We didn't want to lose any of the important work that's been done in comprehensive or annual reviews. So if you click on that document repository, you will go to these documents here, and under historical reviews, you can see academic or administrative reviews. If you click on that, those reviews, both annual and comprehensive, will come up for each of the areas. If you right-click and download that file, let's try that again. If you right-click and download that file, it will initially open in a browser. And you can look at the narrative in the browser, but it won't give you the full report that we have prepared for you. So you actually need to download this to your desktop. We're going to do that here and save it. And so if you go to your file here at the bottom and look at your downloads, you'll find your PDF. Now, this to start with looks exactly like what we look like on screen, but over here, if you hit that little paperclip, you'll notice all these additional files. These are all the uploads, your budget, other documents that you thought were important, your data moving forward, etc., are all contained in these PDF books. We suggest that you go out now and look at these and make sure if there's anything else that you maybe want out of Zytrax, because that will not always be available to us. But again, you found that under assessment, under document repository, and then these historical reviews. The other really important piece in terms of resources are going to be on the resource page, and that's a tab that you will have. You'll notice the top part of this document management, you're going to see the different program review handbooks for both academic and administrative. And then for some of our CTE programs, you're going to see things like advisory committee membership, core Perkins indicators, etc. Then down here under link management, for those in my academic programs, you're going to find those Cognos reports. Now just a reminder that Cognos is behind a secondary firewall on campus, so that means you must physically be on campus to run those Cognos reports. And because they are behind a secondary firewall, you will have to provide one more time those credentials to log in. We did make some updates in Cognos going forward. So you now have this landing page, which is very nice, and all the reports for your units are on this landing page. Also, this report right here, Program Review Average Class Size College-wide, is going to be that report that gives you the college-wide summary data, as well as splitting it out by transfer programs and by CTE programs. So that's a great document. But you'll want to have all of these downloaded and in your program review. It's really nice now because when you click on one to run, it will open a new tab up at the top. So you won't be losing either strategic planning online or that landing page. So you pick your program. It will automatically run the 3 years of most recent data, as you see here. And now it generates automatically as a PDF. So you will not have to do that secondary step of making it a PDF. It automatically is one. So you'll just come over here to the download function, and again, just download this. The name comes up for what you're downloading, so you don't have to worry about the naming convention, and you have it available to add to your program review. In the handbook, you will see placed in that handbook examples of where you should be downloading these documents, or uploading, I should say, into your program review processes. So once I close that, I'm right back on that landing page for Cognos where the different reports are, and then I can go to this tab and I'm right back into Spool. Our goal going forward with the software company is that by next year, fingers crossed, this will be something that generates within your program review automatically. That's what we're working toward. So now the other thing is, if somehow you get into program review and you get lost, you're not sure how you got to a certain page, you're wondering where you are, you can always click the My Spool and it'll take you back to that initial landing page. One final word, we have changed the due dates for a program review. I used to joke that people would complain I was ruining their Thanksgiving because it was due on November 30th. Good news is that won't be the case anymore because we've moved the deadline out. Bad news is I'm going to ruin your Christmas because it's now going to be due on December 30th. But you do have an additional month now to complete this. Again, I mentioned those program review handbooks are going to be really important because we've done lots of screenshots and lots of narrative to help you get through this process. The other great resource that you have in transitioning to this new software is My Office. We've spent a lot of time and energy over the course of the spring and summer getting all of this ready, downloading documents, becoming familiar with the software. And so please feel free to give My Office a call. Don't spend time hitting your head against the proverbial wall. Just call us and we'll be there to help. You can call Sonia Akins, myself, or Liz Loomis, and we'll be glad to either come to you or set up a time where we can give you some additional help. Thank you and hope you have a great academic year.